Again, maybe not the best idea to pair these two palettes together, but whatever. Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my channel. So today I'm trying a brand that I have not tried before. So I have been tempted by Oden's Eye several times and just haven't quite pulled the trigger. They do have some beautiful larger palettes, but I've really more been intrigued by the minis that have 5 pans, but the middle pan is typically a split shade. So with the release of their newest collection, the Norn collection, so I have a little note on here. There was a large palette. I passed on that. The color story it wasn't quite it for me, but I did end up grabbing 2 of the minis. So I have these 2 right here. So the first one I have is Erd, which of course I had to grab because it has all these beautiful green shades, kind of a grungy feel to it. And the other one that I grabbed is Verdandi. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. I believe it's a Swedish brand. But this one has some beautiful warm tones. And yeah, also just looks really pretty. I passed on the other mini. The colors just didn't really go together for me. I think it was all shimmers. I'm more of a matte lover, you know, with a pop of shimmer, but I'm excited to use these today. I think what I'm going to do is kind of pair them together. So, you know, just kind of using them as if they're one palette. I don't know what that's going to mean. Maybe a green and orange look today, which could be interesting. But I'm excited to try this out. So yeah, this will be a first impression, not only of these products, but my first impression of the brand. You know, I did swatch these center shades a little bit, and they do seem very much like toppers. Let's see, I'll try to get all 4 of them down. Like very shimmery. I don't know how I'm gonna like that on the eye, so we'll see. I don't know. Like I was hoping those would be a little more pigmented, but maybe it'll perform different, you know, as I start to put them on the eye. But I'm gonna start off by going off camera. I'm gonna fill in my brows, prime my eyes, and I'll be back. All right, so I think I'm gonna start with the Verdandi palette, and maybe I'll start with that deeper kind of burnt orange bordering on red and lay that in the crease. There are some neutrals in here. It's a Sunday, I'm not going anywhere, so I might as well play with some color and, you know, pair some colors that I normally wouldn't together. So I'm gonna start with that shade and just start to build that up kind of on the outer corner and in the crease. All right, well that's building up and blending out really nice. That's kind of a fun shade, like a really pretty, kind of a muted burnt orange. And I am going pretty heavy-handed into these shadows. I have been using my Nomad palettes a lot lately, and those mattes are just so like plush and soft that I barely have to tap in, and I need to like excessively tap off because there's so much pigment there. But this, you know, I'm kind of having to dig in a bit more, which is fine. I don't mind that something is more buildable, you know, gives you a little more control with the shadow and the amount of pigment that you want. All right, so I'm gonna hop into the other palette, the Erd palette, and I think I'm gonna grab the lightest green and kind of pack that in the front. I don't really know what I'm going for, so we'll see what it develops into. It's getting a little muddy. I'm gonna hop back into that first shade and just rebuild that up. Maybe not the best idea to pair these 2 palettes together, but I wanted to try both of them, so I don't know. We'll just keep going with it. All right, I'm gonna grab the deepest shade called Past, which is right here, and just get some more darkness in the outer corner. It's another really soft shade. Okay, I'm gonna hop into the lightest orange and just buff that out on the edges a bit. So they're blending together really nice. I feel like I've kind of lost that green, which is fine. It didn't really go with that. I might use that green shimmer on the lid, or maybe I'll do more green like on the lower lash line, but this is where we're at with that. So there's that. I think, I don't know. So I really want to use this green shimmer Luxury. So let's see if I can swatch it. It's a really pretty deep green, almost has like a brown base and like some blue to it. So it's a really beautiful shade. I don't really know how much it matches what I have on there, but I might start just to build it up on the outer corner and start to pull it in a little bit, just going in with a finger. Again, maybe not the best idea to pair these two palettes together, but whatever. Oh, I love green. I could use green every day and be happy. Okay, I mean, it doesn't not go, right? All right, well, this is a dark look. That is a really pretty shade. I don't know that I have a green quite like that in anything else. I mean, you could do like a pretty monochromatic green look with just this palette, but again, just trying to use more, try more. All right, I'm gonna dip back into that deepest shade and just blend those together. Maybe pull that up a little bit. So I'm keeping some of that kind of reddish orange tone. I think it does add a little interest to the look other than just being green and brown. All right, so I think for the front part of the lid, I will grab a brush and I am just going to kind of put, I think from the Erd palette, just kind of mix those two together, see how they pick up on a brush. They are very chunky. So I'm just gonna tap that in here to add a little brightness. Yeah, very chunky. Alright, they do look better on the eye than just swatched though. Like when I swatched them, they just kind of disappeared. So I think I'm gonna stop there with the lids right now. So we're kind of grungy, green, the way I like it. I'm gonna go off camera and put my face on, and I will be back to just finish up the eyes. All right, I'm back. I went in with foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, and a little bit of highlight and setting powder. So I'm gonna dip back into the eyeshadows. So I'm gonna start with that darkest shade right here. I'll just start to build that up under the eye. Very like earthy look today. Right, and then I'm gonna dip into the Verdandi palette and grab that kind of reddish orange and just kind of press that along the edge of that. Kind of trying to mimic what I did on top. And then I will grab an even fluffier brush and go into that soft orange and kind of buff it all out. Okay. All right, for the inner corner, I'm gonna try to grab this kind of peachy shade. So it's, I think, Say Yes. Don't know how well this picks up on the brush, but oh yeah, barely at all. It's more just glitter. All right, that's not really doing much of anything. So I'm gonna hop into my highlight and use that for the inner corner today. All right, so I think I'm done with shadows. I am gonna go off camera and do liner, put on some mascara, try to find a lip, and I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. I put on some liner and mascara. I found a lip, and this is the final look. What do we think? So again, this was my first time ever using the brand Oden's Eye. So, you know, first impression of these two palettes as well as the brand in general. I love the size of these palettes. They're nice and compact. You get 6 shades. So this is the Verdandi palette. I really like how these were really the only 2 that I used. I tried to put this in the inner corner. It didn't really show up. They blended out beautifully. I really like those shades. And then the Erd palette, this is the one that I was most drawn to, of course, because of the greens. This light green kind of dusted away. I pretty much lost it. It was both like not pigmented enough, but pigmented enough to cover up the reddish orange. So I didn't love that shade. This is a beautiful, really rich, deep brown, and this green shimmer is really nice, just a nice, deep, grungy green. And I really like how these shimmers layered over that just to bring a little brightness. So overall, I really enjoyed these. I'm definitely more drawn to the Erd palette, but I'm excited to get some use out of these. These will be really nice, you know, travel size palettes. So, you know, I might have to take a look at what else Oden's Eye has released in the past in terms of this size palette to see if there's anything interesting as well. I think the formulas were nice. I like how they all blended together, especially how those oranges kind of layered over the brown. And again, like the big palette didn't quite call to me. I just felt like I had a lot of those shades over and I didn't need anything that size. I've been a lot more drawn to smaller curated palettes lately, so these are just a perfect size. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you soon.